Hey, you're looking good today. This is Frank in the Brazil Times newsroom, and here's what's happening in today's edition of the paper. In this age of computers and technology, there's a controversy brewing in many communities over teaching children to write in cursive. Is it time to do away with it? One Indiana senator doesn't think so, and Ivy Jacobs interviewed Senator Lessing about that situation. Energy assistance funds are still available if you are in need of that. You can find out more on the front page today. And we have a real Valentine's Day story for you. Sons shared the story of their late parents' undying commitment to each other. Ivy Jacobs interviewed that family. She says, some love stories never die. When Joe Robb met Gloria Riddell, it was a match made on roller skates that lasted throughout their lives and beyond. And you can read about their love story in the Brazil Times today. I want to say hi to Kendra Rowe and to Marilyn Wolf. Glad to see you folks today and everyone who stopped by. Disc golfers raised money for the hungry in Clay County over the weekend, including our own editor, Pete Wilson. Disc golfers from around Indiana and beyond gathered at Forest Park in Brazil for the annual Blizzard Through the Forest Charity Tournament. That was on Saturday, and you can see that in today's edition. Teresa Taft is here. Glad to see you today, and she's going to stop by later today. We're going to be working on a story together, and we'll have that for you later in the week. Inside today's edition, of course, all those who have passed away, their obituaries and their visitation and funeral information is listed there. And we have, we have a story from the school corporation. The Clay Community School Corporation Board of Trustees wished the members of a sports team, 3 extracurricular activity teams, good luck, and some elementary students safe travels when approving 6 field trips Thursday night. You can read about those field trips. Also, this happening over the weekend. Hey, Christina Myers here. Hi, Christina. We have to go on the internet to talk 25 yards away from each other. How about that? Anyway, over the weekend, Saturday at 8:56 a.m., an Indiana State Police commercial vehicle enforcement trooper stopped a blue Toyota Sequoia with Texas registration for an unsafe lane movement violation on eastbound I-70 near the 43-mile marker in Putnam County. And in the process of that, they encountered 8 illegal aliens. 2 of those illegal aliens fled the scene, but they were later apprehended having coffee in a Cloverdale restaurant, which for some reason it just strikes me as funny. I don't know, but at any rate, police received word that they were in the restaurant Sunday morning, and sure enough, they stopped by. Somebody sending me the ooh emoji. I think it's funny. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Linda Messmer, the mesmerizing Linda Messmer, is writing today in the Brazil Times. She says it's funny how a sound can grab your attention and bring back vivid pictures and feelings from the past. My sister leaves her TV on during the day for white noise and usually doesn't pay attention to it. The other day, though, she heard a sound from the TV that really caught her attention. An old movie had a guy going up in a small airplane. She heard the sound of the plane's engine revving up as it was taking off and ascending into the heavens. It brought a thrill of excitement to her. It brought back all the happiness she had experienced with airplanes. So Linda has that story for you. We have the look back. We're getting in the time machine, the way back, and going back to 1970 today. So you can find out what's going on in Brazil and environs back in 1970. I wrote a column this week. I titled it, Lighten Up, Everything is Not a Crisis. And you can read what I thought about that if you care to. I just think that everything seems to be so serious these days, you know. My goodness, if you turn on the TV and somebody says that their tap water was running, then immediately there's a story about what's in their tap water. You know, I'm just making that part up. But everything is so serious. You know, lighten up, folks. I mean, we better enjoy this life while we have it, because it's going to be gone before we know it. Jim Pickett's here. Hey, Jim. Glad to see you today. Hope you're still doing well. He's getting ready to go to Vegas, if I remember correctly, if I have my timetable right. So I hope he's doing well. He's that gentleman that was knocked out of the tree 30 feet up in the air, and we're going to have his story for you in the Senior Selections magazine coming up. I believe it's next week, so you want to watch for that inside your edition of the Brazil Times, and it'll also be online. But Jim has quite a story to tell. He is what Cloverleaf Healthcare is calling their superstar patient because of his recovery. And I'll just leave that for you as a kind of a hint as to what was going on in his life. But it really, truly is remarkable, all the more so when you realize he's almost 80 years old. Okay, and then we have our Clay County planner, tell you what's going on in the days ahead. I tell you, you ought to be glad you're not in the Northeast. I am. I want to share these numbers with you. They are in the sights of another winter blast. By the numbers, 19 inches of snow fell a few days ago in the Northeast. 2 feet of snow is possible now. 19 inches of snow is possible in Boston through today. Connecticut and Rhode Island could receive more than 6 inches of snow, sleet, and rain. That's quite a combination. Wind gusts of 50 miles per hour is possible. Storm surge of 1 to 3 feet is possible. More than 3,000 flights have been canceled. I don't know. We keep doing very well. The good Lord keeps blessing us here in Indiana. But one of these days, I'm sure we'll have another blizzard like they're having in the Northeast and like we saw in 1978. And if you're too young to remember that, you may get a chance to look at that. Let's see. I've got a message here. Okay, Teresa Corrine Taft writes, Grandma is 96 and she has some interesting stories, and she's in Cloverleaf also. Well, I'm sure she does have some great stories to tell. I hope I still have my faculties and I'm able to walk when I'm 96, if the good Lord lets me live that long, but I'm working at it. I tell you, I'm working at it. You know what you ought to do? You really ought to, you really need to take a tape recorder, take your phone with a recorder on it, go see your grandma who's 96 years old, and just start talking to her. Ask her to relive those days from decades ago. I tell you, that is some of the best times you'll ever have, and you'll have those stories recorded for posterity. Let's see. Marilyn Wolf says, hey, Frank, who needs to buy the Times? You have got it all. Well, no, there's a lot more for you in the pages of the Brazil Times and at our website. Believe me, a lot more that you're missing if you just watch our little visit here in the morning. Well, let's see. I have to do this. I'm Batman. There you go. The Lego Batman movie dominated 50 Shades Darker at the box office over the weekend. There we go. Back to lighten up, you know. I think people are getting tired of so much seriousness and so much intensity in their lives. We really need to lighten up. That's going to be my motto for the day. Lighten up. Just lighten up, everybody. Oh, gosh. And we have a lot more for you. Got a big paper today, 14 pages. And, I didn't even talk about sports. Let's go back and see what Carrie has for us on the sports pages today. I already know, but I want to make sure I get it right when I say it. As the regular season winds down to its final 2 weeks, the Northview Knights are prepping for the postseason. That means facing a bevy of solid teams down the stretch. On Saturday night, an athletic and high-octane Bloomington North squad came calling and came away with a 64-56 victory over the Knights. And unfortunately, the girls did not fare any better. Missed opportunities by Northview and clutch shots by the Crispus Attucks Tigers sealed the fate of the Knights in the Class 3A Danville Regional Opener on Saturday morning. The Knights missed half of their 28 free throws in the game, along with a handful of good looks beneath the basket, as Attucks advanced to the championship game with a 62-50 win over Northview. Well, better luck next year, ladies. And let's just keep pulling for the guys, that they can do well as their season begins to wind down. All right, I'm Frank. I'm in the Brazil newsroom. I'll be perfectly frank with you if you can do the same with me. Okay? Okay. We'll see you later.